So welcome to the Node.js package maintenance team meeting for December 1st, 2020. We'll follow the agenda that we have in the issue that was generated in the repo, which is issue number 434. Before we get started, does anybody have any announcements that they'd like to share? No announcements? Okay, let's move on to the issues that are tagged for the agenda. The first one is overview of current initiatives, housekeeping, and other questions. I think I noticed, Owen, you'd made a few comments on that one.
Did. I'm just pulling it up for myself, but just in short. So after the last meeting, I believe it was Christopher had chimed in looking for some opportunities to help, and I think in general the general takeaway was maybe it's a little bit harder for newcomers to maybe understand what we're up to at any given point in time. You know, if there's any cross-cutting themes that we may be working on, you know, just basically try and get a snapshot, bird's eye view of our team and working group. At least that's what I inferred. So just to kind of get the ball rolling on that a little bit, I just did a couple of things. I made a project in GitHub just to span next year. It's kind of like a general bucket. I don't think we move fast enough that we need to get like, you know, granular, but it might be the equivalent of like a sprint in like an agile approach. But you know, time is relative. That nobody has taught us anything. So I figured for now it's just a project called General Activities 2021, and it's mostly just anything that we're working on as an issue. You can just kind of go in there, and it's just got your typical left to right swim lanes, like to do. I made one column that's just to do / GFI, good first issue. So you know, over time, sometimes those priorities come and go. So, you know, we always chuck or remove things. And pretty much anything that's been on our agenda or anything that's like active, which pretty much maps to the milestones, I just put into that. Now, in a month, they may all be gone, but I figure it'd be easier to just start with 2021. And so then the last thing I did was I made 3 milestones just to capture, at least for my purview and attendance, of kind of what our 3 big themes are right now as a team, in which there's like multiple issues about it. And one was the support levels that you've been working on pretty much, or leading, I should say, spearheading. The draft documentation promotion, which is just getting things out of the drafts into just, you know, higher visibility. And then the PKGS org kind of bootstrapping. So so basically now there's kind of 3 little buckets of our I guess our most active work. And yeah, so anyway, that's what I did. Just maybe a little bit of a light touch. I didn't want to kind of go like super PM on this or anything like that, but at least now with a link or 2, you can just be like, milestones, these are our current initiatives, the project board, here's what anybody's working on at any given time. And if you want to jump in, here's a list of to do or good first issues. I mean, you could use the label too, but you know, sometimes those get old. As I was going through the issues, I'm like, some of these could maybe be closed as duplicates or been superseded by a similar request earlier. So there could be maybe as part of 2021, maybe a grooming of just, you know, the backlog of issues, so to speak. Anyway,
yeah, that'd be a good idea. I guess I could see a couple more of those milestones, like, I don't know, Wibby, Beth, something around that makes sense.
Absolutely.
And then Dominicus, I think you've been spearheading work around it was for Travis for the files for testing. I know that's pretty much done, but now I think you were starting to look at GitHub Actions, right? Because that's becoming more the go-to.
Yeah, the action stuff. I think there's no easy and obvious way to do it, and GitHub is working on a feature to enable some of these behaviors, but that feature is Q2, so I don't know. But as part of Wibby work, I'm currently working on Wibby specific GitHub action, which allows you to like post a Webby test comment, it kicks off Webby workloads and all of that. And once that is in, as part of that, I will have to solve the problem of installing the Webby action on consumer repos, basically, people who want to use Webby. So maybe I'll find some.
Okay, so it sounds like that one maybe is.
Yeah, but it will have to be part.
It's waiting. Yeah, okay. Yeah. But adding one for Webby then makes sense, because we've got a couple, number of different people kind of working on that one.
Yeah, I think that's, to me, what I was seeing is the value, because obviously anybody could imply their own kind of value or use out of the various tools. So
yep,
we're obviously can do whatever we want. But yeah, the milestones was more just as a way to, and I think Webby's a great example. I didn't want to go overboard right off the bat.
Yep.
Hoping to use this, but yeah, I think something like that. I think so. Milestone is really good to, maybe for at least this group to think about it, is something that, a task that's probably going to involve not only multiple issues but potentially multiple people, right? And so it's something that, and I think most of this is just like, is there a good way that we can just kind of either see progression or get a punch list real quick of big things. So yeah, I certainly saw a few Webby related ones, and so I think that might be helpful. And also because a lot of times when we're talking about one of these things, we're often looking for multiple related issues or trying to find like, oh, I saw that an issue there. So the milestone's helpful to just have that list. And then the project, like I said, is really just to kind of get that sense of progression over the course of a period of time, like a quarter or a year or something. So that was kind of my initial approach.
Sounds good. I think we can probably close that issue now. Is that
yeah, I mean, I guess that's up to the group here. I mean, I know Christopher opened it, and I know that I guess the main litmus test for this is, does this approach, or at least trying these things, feel reasonable without maybe being heavy-handed in process? Is it the right touch? If it's the right touch to at least get us started, and everyone feels comfortable, and that we're not about to start writing estimates and stuff, then then I think it's I mean, it's fine by me, but I don't think I want to make that decision on myself.
Anybody else?
Is there a way to add sub-projects into projects? Because I did create a project on the Webby side, which kind of gives a Webby progress.
So I think from the project perspective, it can span repositories and organizations. So if there's something that we want to track across repos, we could still use projects for it.
Can it? I kind of, is the project in the org or in the project or in the repo?
In the Webby repo, but I mean, there's the overall Webby issue. I'll post a link to the project there, so I need to notice.
Because like the project's actually in a repo itself, right?
Yes. So there you go. But you can basically, I believe, let me just pull one up here. Yeah, so if I can share my screen real quick.
Yeah, that'd be good. It'd be interesting to see if you can.
Oh, hold on. I got to enable. I upgraded Mac, so I have to restart Zoom to give it permissions to share my screen. So
okay,
if anybody wants to share, but basically the short answer is, if you go to any issue and you look in the right column for the project settings, when you click that gear, you can see that it's got 3 tabs, but the far 2 are the, I guess, the important ones. Is it's a quick filter by repository and a quick filter by organization. So I know in some projects, in some organizations, you might see maybe a repo that's dedicated just like top level initiatives, like almost like an RFC's repo. And then, and then, if it's like an ecosystem of products, then they might have like a repo per like a front end tool, a back end tool, like some messaging tool, right? And so in theory, you could have one repo be the umbrella and use its project to sum issues from multiple repos. So if you want to have that umbrella, you can, but it's up to
Let me
you.
just share my screen then for a second. I'll share a. So I'm here in like the release working group, which is another repo, right? How would I put one of the issues? Like I've got an issue here. How would I put that into our board?
So I think if you go under projects on the right-hand column and then go to organization. Can you just type general, maybe see if that'll help the. So it could be an issue of permissions, maybe. I'm not
right.
Sure.
Okay.
But anyway, that's where you clicked is maybe click repository. I'm not sure if there's any projects.
Yeah, there's no.
It could
okay,
be.
But you think maybe it's configuration?
Yeah, because I mean, I've certainly done that in my open source project where I've had this kind of like RFCs repo, and I've been able to create a project that's like, I want to do this thing across 5 repos, but only have them in one place. So I could look into that to see if it's just like a settings or something like that. Or maybe if it's at an org level setting or a repo level setting, but I can check that out. But yes, we could enable that if we want.
Okay, so I'm just, in terms of this issue, I was thinking maybe we could close it. We've had an in-person session, and you've done some updates.
Yeah, I would say maybe we could say if there's other idea or take a look at this. If anybody wants to build on top of it or has objections to it, they can reopen the issue.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
Then yeah.
Okay, next issue that is tagged for the agenda then is dependency management wording improvements. It's number 425. Not sure who put this on
Yeah, I think it was just from the last time around, but basically this is the follow-on from the other one, from the 302. I removed the agenda from both of those. I think we have an agreement and I have the necessary approvals for the other one.
Okay.
Just need to wait one more day for the timing stuff. And once that's merged, I will retarget 425 and maybe mark that ready for review. Yeah, so no need to go in depth.
Okay. Okay, the next one is auto updating GitHub Action Matrix for Node, which I know you've been working on as well.
Yeah, I closed that since. Basically, there is no easy, obvious way to achieve that, or at least not something that would be worth recommending to people without surrounding tooling. Jordan has a thing that does a similar thing in a very similar approach. So maybe people want to use that. It works, I guess, it's nice. And then for the rest of it all, we'll have to revisit that later. I mean, this is on GitHub's side to make these things manageable, because I'm sure I'll get a chance to start looking into it before they do it, because like if you're managing hundreds of repos, it just doesn't scale.
Okay, so basically we'll revisit once there's some new features from GitHub to make it
or
feasible.
Or somebody like just can't take it anymore and writes a tool for that we can recommend.
Okay. Okay, suggested list of modules to get help support info. I've actually PR'd the support info into Node add-on API, so that's should land this week, I think. We're also working at Red Hat to add it to a number of our modules as a starting point to sort of check it out. And so if anybody else has some other modules that they think we should start PRing in, that's the issue to kind of track that. Okay, if there's no more discussion on that, then the next one is publishing strategy for PKGS packages, number 410. Forget who opened that one.
That was Wes, I believe. What's the status?
It was Wes. I'm not sure if that's. Yeah, you said a while back. Let's recap and see if we can close this.
We have a pull request with the guidelines. It has one small suggestion there, which I cannot. Oh, I can't commit. Are we okay to commit that and merge that PR? That's 419.
That seems reasonable to me. There's, yeah, it's plenty long enough, old enough, got a bunch of approvals. Yeah, and it's just adding a link. So yeah, I'd go ahead and merge, right?
Okay, I'm going to push that. And then, yeah, I think we can close 410. I don't remember if there's anything. Maybe just leave a note there. Here's a merge. Okay, close this.
I wonder if we can like close and ask and, you know, suggest reopening if that wasn't the right thing.
Works for me.
Do you want to do that, or do you want me to do that?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, that's good. So next one, building create PKG, which is 404. That one, I think we were kind of waiting for, yeah, some stuff from Wes, right? To push it. I don't know if that's happened. Maybe I'll just ping. Okay, let's move on to the next one. Suggest ignoring a vulnerability by the package maintainer. This is 386. Submission for the next step is really we were going to submit a collaboration space proposal. just know that both Wes and Darcy have been really very, very busy lately, so I just still waiting on that. I don't think there's anything, unless there's anything else to talk about on that one, we can move on. No, okay. Dependency management number 302.
Yeah, we kind of covered that. I'll merge that something tomorrow.
Okay. And then next steps on less support levels and packs. Jason, I guess we talked a little bit about that. I am going to publish a new version of support today because I found a couple issues when I was generating the support info. And I guess that I did have a, I think I had a PR open that, let me just, pull requests. Maybe we already got that landed, good. Let me just make sure, I think so though. Yep. Okay, never mind. So that one, yeah, I'm gonna publish a new release. Otherwise, it's just about encouraging people to start adding it into the into modules so that we can get some modules with some data to start feeding the process. Any other issues that people want to discuss? Because that seems to be the end of the agenda. If not, I guess we'll call it for this week, and we'll talk to everybody next time.
Awesome. Thanks. Have a
Okay,
good
thanks.